One of the things I had to realize is I was dealing with really diverse sets of people, and neither group had any business experience. So first of all, trying to figure out how we created a culture that valued diversity, the fact that we had people from government who had been at government 20, 30 years, and we had these brand new college graduates in machine learning, and somehow I had to figure out how to weave that culture together. And then I had to combine that with the fact that we were going to have to build a business. So things like, the machine learning people would say, it's going to take 6 months for the machine learning to learn self inside a company. I'm like, well, you need it to take a week, because there's this thing called a sales cycle, and there's momentum. And they went back to the drawing board and they achieved it. But I think bringing those cultures together was a real experience.
So I think that having a lack of experience in business, in technology, is of course in some ways a disadvantage. But it can also be an advantage, because we're all striving for innovation. We're all trying to understand markets and understand what they might want. And to me, that looks a lot like an artist's work, right? Taking multiple data points, multiple inputs, and creating a picture out of something that others don't necessarily see yet.
Experience can really be a crutch. It can be something that you're sort of like collecting and gathering, trying to get to this perfect amount of experience. But there's no amount of experience that can prepare you for the dynamic range of whatever will happen. And I think I feel really lucky to have had all the experiences that I had. But I think that I would probably feel that way no matter what they were.
And what I found that most often when I asked them 6, 9, 12 months in what they like most is they said that at other companies, they would have been treated almost like a glorified internship or an entry-level position. I'm throwing them straight in to a real role, giving them full accountability, giving them all the tools they need, and often in 6, 9 months, they're now running their own sales team.
We did not necessarily look for people experienced in their particular field. We did a lot of recruiting of people right out of college, train them up. If you're early stage, start doing that now. And in 3 or 4 years, you'll have a crop of senior managers and directors that have only ever known your product and your culture. And that's incredibly valuable.
We as a company hit a 50-50 gender ratio last year. We have 43% women in technical roles. We have 53% women in management, as do actually these companies here. And I think a lot of it for us was rethinking, what it was that we really needed and actually seeing that in the humans in front of us.
So I would say when you bring in HR early, and you value it really significantly, and you empower HR to tell you when you're messing up the culture or getting in the way of building the community that you believe is going to drive the best success for your organization, that seems to me to be the best kind of function of HR. And one of the hallmarks, I think, of having female leadership may be a real focus on people early. Most companies don't hire HR till they're pretty big, but bringing HR in early with a head of people to focus on the needs and the kind of human functionality of your company, it really can't be overvalued.